forward in the Peak Distinction Facebook group. This is all about using Peak Distinction as a CRM service, a way to actually manage your leads as well as manage your clients whilst they're actually inside your program. So let's take a look at exactly how you can do this inside Peak Distinction. So here we are inside Peak Distinction. I'm going to look at different ways of doing this. Now, I'm going to look at two areas of this. One, in terms of lead management, and also with inside actually managing your clients inside Peak Distinction as well. And this is based on a question about A, can you use it as a CRM? And B, is there an easy way to actually monitor where your clients are inside your program, especially if you've got more automated stuff inside your program? And the answer is yes, you can do both of those. And that's what I'm going to talk about in here. Now, there's going to be a couple of things you need to understand before we get into this. The first thing, this is going to use groups inside Peak Distinction. Now, if you're not 100% sure what groups are, I can put a video link somewhere around this that explains more about how groups work inside PTD. I will cover a little bit of that today, but I'm going to go on the idea, have a little basic understanding of how groups and stuff work. And number two, you need to understand how print-only or offline clients work and how online clients work as well. So a quick reminder of that, online clients have access to everything that you put inside Peak Distinction. Print-only client or an offline client doesn't have access to anything, but they can still be set up inside your account. You can also send them emails and technically SMS text messages as well. This means that you can leave them inside your account. They don't count towards your quota or anything like that inside PTD, so we can still contact them. And we're going to use a mixture of these groups and these messaging features for both online and offline clients to help manage your clients inside PTD. So the system we're going to use inside here is the basic system that we use over at PTD Ninja on the PTD Ninja 101 course. We're going to imagine that you're running a client from a lead magnet and you're going to take them into either a challenge or maybe into a flagship program and then onto a membership program. So that's the kind of funnel, if you like, we're going to talk about. I'm going to explain how that works and we'll demonstrate that as well and how that works in terms of managing. I'm going to show you how we recommend you manage where a client's at inside your programs when they sign up. I'm also going to show you a different way of doing it if you don't like our particular way of doing it. The reason I say that is because with the PTD Ninja 101 course, the white label content we're using there uses a check-in form each week to help manage that. You might not want to use a check-in form, you might want to use something different, or maybe you just want something to prompt you when the program's coming to an end or what week they're in. So I'm going to show you how to set it up as well. So we're going to go through both options. I'm also going to show you a way of actually managing your leads when they come into this based on the idea that they may sign up to your lead magnet that you're offering through PTD and how to manage them that way as well. We're going to be looking at some of the zaps and things you can use for some more advanced things with CRM, just to give you an idea of what is actually possible as well with this. That's one extra thing I want to mention before we dig into this, and that's to do with the email side of it. It's really important when it comes to, if you want to use email marketing through PTD, which some people do, to understand how emails work inside Peak Distinction. Again, there's a link I can put around here that explains a bit more about how to utilize emails in PTD, but in a nutshell, Peak Distinction tells your email provider to send an email on your behalf. This means that any limitations to your emails are set by your provider, not by Peak Distinction. So for example, if you were to connect your email address to PTD, if you have certain email limits with your email provider and they get hit, then your emails will not continue to go out. So it's worth noting that if you're going to use Peak Distinction for any kind of email marketing within your CRM systems, then there may be limits on your emails depending on what provider you use. So it's definitely worth checking that out first. There's a couple of things to note as well, is some of the more specific CRM systems that you can use to manage your clients will give you a lot more data than what you might get inside Peak Distinction for the lead side of this. So if you want to know things like open rates for emails, or if you want like reports and all that kind of stuff, then a more specific CRM system will probably be needed. I would always question with that though is if you're going to use that information or not. We have a lot of clients that come to us for our Done For You service over at PTD Ninja, and they always say, I want to do this, 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 and this. I always ask the question is, okay, that's fine. If you want that data, that's okay. But are you going to use that data to influence the decisions you make inside your business or influence the decisions you make for your clients or your leads? If the answer is yes, then it's probably worth investing that money into the other softwares as well. If the answer is no, then I'd question why you need to spend money on a CRM system when you can build it all inside here and it'll not cost you any extra money. So they're the questions you want to be asking yourself as you kind of go through this. Right, so let's just dig into it. Like I mentioned, the first thing we're going to look at is this system here, which is going to be a lead magnet. And the idea from that lead magnet is we'll try and sell them into your flagship program. I'm going to go on the assumption here you're going to have a sales call, but this process can work with going to sales pages and things like that as well. All works exactly the same way. And then from that flagship program, the idea is you move them into a membership program towards the end, again from a sales call, but of course you could use exactly the same thing for same to a sales page as well. I'm also going to show you a way of managing clients between lead magnet and flagship programs. I'm also going to show you how you can offer people other stuff like a mini challenge or something through there. And this uses basically the same kind of setup we use inside the Peter Ninja 101 course, but I've added a few extra bits in just to kind of demonstrate it a little bit easier inside here, because obviously that course we take you through this step by step over a longer period of time. So let's go and take a look. The first thing we need to have inside here are our groups. So we're going to have our groups set up for a package for our packages, and I'm going to talk about those premium packages in a second. But in principle, what we have is a group for your lead magnet. So if we come down here, we can see we have our lead magnet group, we have groups for challenges, and we have groups for our main coaching content, our main program, our flagship program down here. We also have groups for our membership programs as well. So they're the things you first need to go and set up. Let's go right to the start of this, which is with our lead magnet. So inside our lead magnet group, we want to make sure we have, any content that we're going to have drip feeding out to the clients already pre-set up inside this particular group. And then what we need over in the message center in that group is some emails that are going to go out to the client, drip feeding out, asking to get them onto a call so you can have a chat with them. In this particular case here, I'm using Calendly. You can use any scheduling software you want to, but I'm just going to go on the assumption here we're using Calendly, and that's going to be a link that's sent out for them to go and book in for a call. Now, all these groups here, the lead magnet groups, the challenge groups, the flagship groups, and the membership groups are all set up inside these pre-made packages, which you can find over by going to account and into pre-made packages inside here. So you can see here we have a lead magnet 10-day challenge, our 12-week flagship program, and our membership program inside here. And all these contain different groups for those particular clients. Now, also inside this flagship program here, we have a group called our weekly review that's set to start on the Saturday and repeat weekly. This is the group we actually use to tell or to help us know what week our client's actually in, but it also shows our clients what week they're in as well and makes it a bit easier to manage. So I want to go and jump into that particular group first, just to show you this. So I'm going to go into groups here, and I'm going to type in our weekly review group inside here, open this up. So inside here in our weekly review group, I'm going to go into setup, into forms. You can see down here we have a number of forms all scheduled out for that 12-week program. They're scheduled out after weeks, by the weeks and days after joining, as you can see down here. And they're also added on to the schedule too. And they're labeled week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So down here, these will drip feed out for the client. So first of all, if the client logs in and they see the recent form, it tells them what week they're in. And you can obviously see what week they're in as well. It's also on the schedule over here, which means if I go on days after joining, you can see here week 1 check-in. We then have week 2 check-in, week 3 check-in. So very quickly when you go into a client's account, you can see just by looking at their schedule, as soon as you sign in, what week they're actually in and what they're actually going to be working on. The other cool thing about this is in the activity area as well. If a client goes to complete a particular form, it just makes it easier for you to see what clients you need to work on, what clients you need to do check-ins on. Now, you can do this from your main dashboard when you log in, or of course, you can just come into your weekly review group, hit the drop-down menu, and just filter it down to the forms and questionnaires, and you'll see exactly what clients have been working on what inside that particular group and what week they're actually on. And you can simply just click on that, and it opens up the form, and then you can see what all the answers are for that client in one place. So I actually quite like this form way because it shows you exactly where they are inside the program, lets your client know where they are inside the program, and it makes it easier for doing weekly check-ins. If you're doing forms for weekly check-ins, it just make it a lot easier. Now, the other advantage is here, if you're doing multiple programs, you can have multiple versions of this group. So you can have a review group for program A, a review group for program B, a review group for program C, if you wanted to. And you can filter this down to decide on which clients you want to focus on to get an idea of where they're at inside those particular programs. Now, if you're not using weekly review groups, weekly review forms, you can do this in a different way. You could set up another group called program management. So I've just created a group here called program management. And again, this can be for program A, program B, program C, it doesn't particularly matter. Now, by having a group like this, or having a group like the weekly review, it tells you exactly what program your clients are in. So you can just type in the program name into the global search, pulls up all your clients who are inside that program. And what it will do is it will show you all the activity for all those clients inside that program. It'll allow you to develop leaderboards for all those clients inside that program. And of course, you can add anything else inside the setup or schedule for that particular program. Now, normally what I recommend with this kind of group, if you're using it to organize your clients, is you don't have too much content inside there. You may have some email content inside there, but generally speaking, you want to use this for just managing your clients. So it's organizing your clients into groups and pull up data for those particular clients. I wouldn't worry too much about putting content inside that group. I would use other groups to do that and use a technique called group stacking, which we talk about a lot over at Peter Ninja, and a little bit inside the Peter Distinction University as well. And group stacking is such an important tool inside PTD to really help you manage your clients, manage the software, and make the most of what PTD has to offer. So you're going to use this group inside here. And if you want to put some stuff inside here to help tell you where that client's at, we can use the coaching items. So inside here now, we can put a coaching item in. I know I just said I wouldn't put too much coaching inside here, but we're not putting coaching inside here for the client. We're putting coaching inside here for us as a trainer. So I can go inside here on this text document, and I could just call this week 1, for example, in here. I could even call it week 1 notes if I wanted to. I could call it whatever I want to call it. And I can just leave that blank for now. I can have that live on copying to client. And I'm going to click, so I'm going to put that on inactive and leave these two ticked here instead of using live on copying to client. So what this basically means is when this is added into a client's account, it'll be inactive. So they can't see it. They can't see it on the schedule. They won't get notifications through or anything like that, but you'll be able to see it as a coach. So I can now click save and go, yes, I want to add this to the schedule. And I want this to be on, I don't know, let's go day 1 at 9 a.m. And click add schedule inside there, just like so. I can keep repeating that process for the other weeks inside the program. Now, it can take a little bit of time to set up, maybe like 10 minutes or so to set this up. But once you've done it once, you don't need to do it again. So this one's going to be inactive inside there again. Click save. I'm going to add to schedule. Yes. Schedule this in at week 2. And so on, and so on, and so on. So basically, keep scheduling out this content inside here. So all that content drip feeds out on the schedule. That means it's going to let you know when you go into their account exactly what week they're in. The other advantage of this is as well is because you use a text document, if you want to have any particular notes for that particular week for that client, you can click on that text document. You can edit it in the client's account. Any notes inside there, those notes will just be for you. Your client won't see it, but you can leave specific notes for that particular week that they're in inside the program. So again, a very useful tool for managing your clients inside PTD. Now, the other thing I want to quickly look at inside here as well is how, and there's a question that was asked inside the group as well, knowing when a client is coming to the end of a program. So if you're scheduling workouts for your clients, you're going to have this program health up here. And anything that appears in Keep Watch will actually come up inside here. And Keep Watch basically means that if you're setting up this particular way, it will tell you when a client is in the last week of their program. Now, this only works on program health, so the workouts inside there. So there's 2 ways of doing this. We can either use those text documents and we can add them to our calendar, or we can use the program health inside here to monitor both ways of telling when a client's coming to an end. I personally like this way of doing it here. But it's entirely up to you. I'm going to show you both ways. The reason I like this way is because it means as soon as you come into your Peter Distinction account, you can see on here which clients are coming to an end. You can click on this bit and it gives you a list of clients you need to go and have a look at inside their program. Now, the way you set that up is, again, I would use that program management group inside here. So let's say this program management group here is a 12-week program. What I can do is I can go and add in a workout program, create a new program. I'm just going to call this end of program here. And inside this bit, I'm just going to go and type in any exercise. Doesn't really matter what it is, just pop it in there. Status, inactive again, so your client can't see this. And click Save Program. Click OK. So now that's a saved program that's inactive. So when it gets copied to the client's account, they can't see this. But we can schedule this. So I can go workout 1, days after joining, 12 weeks, at whatever time I want to, and click add to schedule. Make sure that's ticked, click OK, and that's now added in. So what this means now is when I go into this group and I add a client to this group, that actual workout is scheduled at the end of that 12-week program or whatever it is you're offering to your clients. So that means that over here, this is going to tell you when a client's program is coming to an end. So you can use this system on here to help tell you that. Now, that works particularly well if you've got some pre-built out workout programs and things like that. But what if you don't have any pre-built workout programs? What happens if you're running a 12-week program but every 4 weeks you're creating something completely custom for them from a workout point of view. Well, ideally, you'd probably want to use this program healthier for that purpose. You want to be told that those workouts are coming to an end for that client for that phase. You need to go in there and update them. So there's another way of managing when a program comes to an end. To do this, we're going to still use the program management group, but we're not going to use the workouts as we just did a second ago. We're going to use the text documents instead. So I'm going to go and get rid of this program inside here and show you this alternative version. So we're going to go and add in a text document again. And inside here, I'm going to call this end of program. And down here, we're going to have this inactive again. I'm going to click save. And yes, I want to add this to the schedule. I'll go on to days after joining, put it in for the end of the program, say it's 12 weeks, for example. But down here in the advanced section, I'm going to tick this box called on trainer calendar and click save. Pop that into the schedule. So now this is not just added into the group in here. We shoot back to week 12 in here. You can see it has this thicker line around the outside. So that means when it's copied into the client's account, it's going to appear on the client's schedule. On the client schedule, but also on your trainer calendar as well. And you can access your trainer calendar by going to account and going to your calendar up here. So you could include this as part of your process, and you can see this inside here. I've used this in other demonstrations before to remind me to update calorie targets for clients. But inside here, I can have it come through and tell me the client's program is coming to an end inside here. So I can use my calendar to tell me what I need to do for that particular week for my clients. I simply click on their name and it takes me through to their account to go and update whatever I need to go and update. So there are a couple of ways to manage your actual programs themselves, so where your clients are in terms of how far they move for the program and whether they're coming to an end or not. So 2 different ways of doing it inside there. But what about the rest of the CRM stuff inside PTD? What about actually moving a client into your paid programs? So the way we can do that again is still using groups. So let's say we have a client sign up to a Premier package for our lead magnet. Now, when a client signs up to any kind of Premier package and they get added to a group, it will appear inside the group area inside here. So let's say we have someone that signed up to our lead magnet in here. I click on the lead magnet group and I can go up to my view members, and down here we can actually see any clients that we have or any leads that we have inside that particular group. Now, there's a couple of things we know about this. One of the things you can do inside Premier packages is set it up not only to add clients to groups, but also to automatically remove clients from groups as well. So for any other programs that we have set up, such as our flagship program, the Premier package that they sign up to is not only designed to add them to the Premier package groups, but also to remove them from particular groups. In this case, the lead magnet group. So this tells me that I know any client that's inside this particular group has yet to purchase something from me, but they've had some interest in my services at one level or another. And the other cool thing about this is because we're delivering our lead magnet through PT Distinction, if they've interacted with any of the lead magnet, it will appear in their activity down here. If they haven't, then it won't appear in the activity down here. So this starts to give us some decent data. And what we can actually do is we can come down here as our clients start working with this. We know in our highest completion over here, we'll have a list of clients that have actually really engaged with our lead magnet, but have yet to purchase. And we'll have a list of clients down here that have signed up to our lead magnet, but not engaged with it and have yet to purchase. So it means we can actually use this list here to focus on which clients we should be contacting more and getting in touch with, the ones that have completed more and more likely to sign up than the ones that have completed less. So it gives us an idea of how to communicate with our clients through this particular medium. And talking about communicating with our clients, we've set our Premier package up, in this case, to add them to this 5-day mini series, which is a lead magnet. And after that, after a week, we're going to switch them to a print-only client. So all the information is still inside here. They're still recording inside PTD, but they can't access anything at the moment. But what we can do is send them emails. So I can come into this group here, into the message center, and very easily, I can just go and send messages out to my clients. I can send emails out to them, schedule them into the future, send it out straight away using a regular one, and it will go out to all members of that particular group. So I know any email I send out through this group is sent to people who have yet to purchase from me. Makes it easier to manage. Sounds very similar to other CRM systems you might particularly have. And you can do exactly the same here with your SMS text messages as well, as long as you've got their phone number. You can collect that on the pre-made package sign-up forms as well. So once they've gone through that lead magnet, if they then go and sign up to your main program, happy days, they've signed up, it removes them from that particular group. But what about managing clients inside here? Once if someone's gone through this lead magnet and they've gone into, you want to follow up with them. How do you know you followed up with that particular client? Well, we can use our groups to do that as well. So inside here, we can set up other groups. They don't really have much inside it. So you can see I've got an abandoned cart group. I've got a followed up group, a call booked group, a cold lead group. You can have as many different groups as you want. And like I say, you don't have to have content in there. You can just use it to organize your clients. So let's say I'm working with a particular client inside here. We've got a client inside our lead magnet group. And let's just go in. I'm going to override this and just put in one of my test clients inside here, just to give you an idea what it's like. So we have a test client. There I am inside this group here, and I want to follow up with them. I want to follow up with that particular client in there. So I can go to that particular client. I can go to the message center, and I can send an email to that client, and I can follow up with that individual client now. So I'm not doing the group stuff. I'm following that individual client. And because I know they've been through this lead magnet, I can look down here and see how well they've done. I can see any activity they've done that lead magnet, and I can follow up appropriately based on what interaction they've had with us through the lead magnet that I've sent to them. Now, once I've done that, I can just go into my groups up here. I can click drop down menu, go onto this, and I can just add them into the followed up group and click now and add. So now I know for this particular client that I've followed up with them. Now, if I wanted to, I could get really fancy and I could have automation inside that follow-up group. I could have email sequences in that follow-up group. I could have SMS sequence in that follow-up group. So I can follow up with a personal note, but I can also have some extra things to touch base with them until they decide to sign up. And the same principle there, I can have it so if they sign up to the pre-made package, it can remove them from that followed-up group as well, completely automatically. So they're inside here now, and I'm working with that particular client. I know I can come back and then follow up with them again. So I'm thinking, I work with this client here. I've been trying to get them onto a call to go and book. So they go and book on this call here. So let's say they booked in. They go, okay, they've all booked in and ready to go. So I can move them over to this particular group over here. Now I can do that manually. I can just click into the members up here, the booked call, click on the name, and inside here, all I do is remove them from the follow-up group. And I can then add them into the call booked group if I want to do that. So, okay, I'm doing that manually inside here. But what happens if, again, we're using something like Calendly or some other software, and they could book at a time when you're asleep? You may not want other email sequences going out to them for this or anything like that. So you can actually automate this process as well. So you can use Zapier for that. So let's say if you use Calendly, you could set it up so you have your calendar link inside here, and you can filter it so that the only event it goes for in Calendly is, say, a discovery call or whatever you want to call it. So that means if you sent a link out to your client inside PTD and they've clicked on it to book in for a call, you can actually set it up so then it adds that client to a particular group. So inside here, I've set it up so it adds the client to the call book group automatically. So that will do that process I've just done there. And if I say, for example, in that follow-up group, have email sequences going out and I want to organize them, I can also add it in so that I can remove them from particular groups as well. So there's lots of different options you have inside here in terms of managing your clients using Zaps and also managing the CRM system. So you don't necessarily have to do it manually all the time. You can also do it automatically using Zapier or Zapier, but you can also do it a bit of both as well. So lots of different options inside here. So there you go. That's in essence how you can use PTD as a kind of CRM system by using a number of different groups inside here and using like something like a project management group or using a check-in group with all the different forms and stuff inside. And also for managing your clients long-term as well and having a notification to come through to let you know that it's coming to the end of their program. You can either use your trainer calendar or you can use the program alerts if you wanted to as well, using the techniques that I discussed inside this video. So there you go. I hope that's been useful. I hope that gives you an idea of just some of the things you can do with PT Distinction regards to CRM and managing your clients inside there. They are just a few examples. There's lots of different ways of doing this. And of course, you can actually link a lot of this with other software you use. So if you have other CRM softwares that you use currently, and you're thinking, how can I link it so PT Distinction links with these CRM softwares? It's all possible to do using some of the Zapier integrations that you can have as well with PTD. Again, I know there's a lot of information inside there, so if you do have any questions at all, please do let us know in the comments. That'll be around this video somewhere. And as always, if you want help setting up anything like this, where you have some ideas of what you like to do with P2 Distinction, no matter how far-fetched you think it might be, you'll be surprised at just how powerful this software is and exactly what it can do. So just get in touch and have a chat with us. We do have our Done For You service over at P2 Ninja, where we can set up things like this. Or if you're happy setting some of this stuff up yourself and you want a bunch of white label content to get you started with it all and using systems like we demonstrated there, come and check out the P2 Ninja 101 course, where you also get the help and support from us guys as well over at P2 Ninja. Now, I hope that all helps, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.